Solitude is not for everyone. It's not for those who flee from silence, nor for those who need noise to feel alive. It's not for those who measure their existence through the eyes of others, or for those who fear facing their own demons. Some choose it willingly, others because the available company creates an even greater void, and then there are those who have it imposed upon them. The last kind is, without a doubt, the worst kind of solitude, as it becomes especially difficult to navigate. I've heard many people fear it in different ways. Some leave music playing all night just to avoid the silence, afraid it may stir something inside them or awaken buried memories. I've seen the fear in someone's eyes when suggesting that silence is the only way to descend into the depths and heal. Also, the only way to hit rock bottom and push oneself back up. Solitude is the companion of the brave. Those who choose to take it by the hand and walk alongside it as a friend are rewarded with a deeper understanding of themselves and the freedom to make their own choices, free from outside judgment or imposed timelines. But oh, my friend, what about our own judgment? What about the wariness of spending too much time in our own company? What happens when the noise inside our heads becomes louder than the silence around us? And what about what comes right after pushing the boundaries of solitude? It's no wonder that Tom Hanks' Castaway's character befriended a volleyball. Solitude in the right amount fuels creativity. It helps us hear our own thoughts, understand ourselves, and grow. But solitude, when prolonged, pushes imagination to a point where it creates things that never existed. Parts of us that aren't real, ideas about people and events that are no more truthful than a sci-fi novel. I imagine, then, that right after that overflowing imagination comes madness. A point where one can no longer distinguish reality from fantasy, where the boundaries of our identity blur and merge with the shadows of the unreal. But what happens when the place you live in, no matter how small, doesn't align with who you are? When human company, as necessary as it is, only makes you feel even lonelier? How do you choose between loneliness in the presence of others or the risk of losing yourself in prolonged self-inflicted solitude? It's clear that we are social animals, wired to live in packs. Had I chosen to stay here, I would have undoubtedly spent much more on gas, increased my visits to the gym, and taken long trips to attend some kind of creative workshop. As I said, investing heavily in gas. But my recent choices have led me to spend far too much time in my own company, making my fears shine like diamonds in a Tiffany's display. Hence, today's rambling. Which brings me to the salvation of the digital age, where, despite being alone, we can connect with people far away from us with astonishing ease. Temporary mental band-aids that replace the physical warmth of another human being. And yet, I can't help but wonder about the dangerous path this could lead us down. The development of AI so advanced that they provide more mental comfort than real people, driving us into even deeper voluntary isolation. And let's not even talk about the day ChatGPT becomes an android with customizable shell. Nothing would be more addictive than an android that looks like Henry Cavill and always agrees with you. That's why I believe it's more vital than ever to create communities of like-minded souls, people with shared interests, experiences, or values, to turn to when we need to escape what we might call technological solitude or social solitude. Those genuine connections, the ones that go beyond a simple click and truly touch your souls, are what keep us alive in this hyper-connected yet disconnected world. The truth is, as with everything in life, the key lies in balance, from the creativity and healing found on one end of the spectrum to the darkness and melancholy of the other. Knowing ourselves gives us the power to recognize when that negative extreme is creeping up on us, and to raise our hands before it pulls us under. ¿Qué haces tú sola? Adiós. Solitude is a path we must walk with both respect and awareness, not fleeing from it or fearing it, but also not losing ourselves along the way. It is an art, one that allows us to grow, to find ourselves, and to recognize the importance of genuine human connection. It's a path we walk alone, but in the end, it prepares us to walk alongside others with more wholeness. In an increasingly isolated world, we can choose to surround ourselves with those who truly see us, understand us, and walk with us through life's journey. Because in the end, living alone does not mean living in loneliness. Living well means consciously choosing our solitudes. What do you think? Tell me in the comments. See you next week. Goodbye.